So you want to know today about non-cooperation movement. So let us start from the very beginning. When the Jallianwala Bagh incident took place in 1919, the most of the politicians across India were agitated. Also, it was the time of the Khilafat issue when the Khalifa was going to be killed by the British, and the famous Khilafat committee was formed by Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Mahatma Gandhi decided to bring the Hindus and Muslims under one single umbrella, and it was decided in Calcutta session in 1919. In his famous book Hind Swaraj, Mahatma Gandhi also stated that India was able to cooperate with the British, and thus the British are able to rule us, means the Indians. That's why it was easy for the British to rule the Indians if they cooperated. That's why Mahatma Gandhi thought of non-cooperating with the British. It would unfold in stages. Actually, it was started with the boycotting of titles and surrendering the civil services, then colleges, universities, and then gradually the movement spread in town. In towns, liquor shops were picketed and foreign goods were boycotted. Foreign exchange was drastically fell down also, and khadi was introduced. Yes, the main factor was khadi, which was very famous, and Indian mills grown at that time. Also in villages, talukdars were boycotted who had a direct contact with the British. In tribal areas also people started agitating, but there were many violent cases like Alluri Sitaram Raju. He started doing non-violence. No, sorry, he started doing violence, but he thought of telling that he was a disciple of Gandhi. Later in the plantation also there was non-cooperation, like when the Inland Immigration Act of 1859 was introduced, the many plantation workers boycotted those laws and came back home. And the famous incident of Chauri Chaura happened in 1922, where 22 policemen were died, as Gandhiji was against violence, but the people showed violence to the policemen. That's why he thought of calling off the non-cooperation movement. Thus, the non-cooperation fell drastically.
In this video, we will talk about civil disobedience movement. February 1922, non-cooperation movement was completely called off in India. After that, many Indians were discussing about the British policies. They wanted to oppose the British policies, and they knew that if they wanted to call off the British policies, or they want to oppose the British policies, the only way is to be the part of the legislative assembly. After that, Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das formed the Swaraj Party, where Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Jawaharlal Nehru didn't join the party. They wanted to make India independence through movements. 1930, civil disobedience movement has already started in India. Civil disobedience movement started in India due to two reasons. First reason is the 1927 Simon Commission. In the Central Legislative Assembly, few Indian members exposed the Government Act of 1919. So Britishers formed the Simon Commission. It was like a reform only. Simon Commission included 7 members, among which the leader was Sir John Simon. There were no Indians present in the Simon Commission. When the Simon Commission reached to India, many Indians protested against it. They used to show placards with "Go Back Simon." Similarly, a protest in Lahore was going on, where Britishers started Lathi Charge. A great freedom fighter, Lala Rajpat Rai, was no more longer alive due to that Lathi Charge. And the second reason was 1929 Great Economic Depression. Due to these, industrial value and goods of agricultural products have decreased, and during that time also government have not reduced the taxes. So due to these two reasons only, Mahatma Gandhi launched civil disobedience movement in India.
Now in the civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji wanted to unite all the people of India, and he also wanted that the people should stop obeying government laws and policies. But one point that should be noticed is that before launching this vast movement, Gandhiji went to Lord Irwin, who was the Viceroy of India during that time, during the 1920s and the 30s. Now, when he went to Lord Irwin, he just placed him a letter consisting 11 demands, out of which he gave importance in the salt tax. He gave importance in the salt tax, first one, and the second one was the reducing the land revenue tax. These two he gave more emphasis. But Lord Irwin told Gandhiji that his thought was very unrealistic and illogical, and he did not agree with him. So Gandhiji wrote again a letter where he told to Irwin that if he did not listen to his demands, then he will start this mass movement again. But since Irwin told that he will not listen to Gandhiji, he rejected his proposal again. So Gandhiji started this movement again. And in this movement, he used salt as a symbol because it was used by the poor as well as the rich. Also, both gave taxes regarding this to the government. Now, Gandhiji took his 78 followers and went from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, which came to be known as the Dandi March. We all have heard it, no? Yes. Now, after reaching there, he gave many speeches which helped him to gather many people. He also manufactured salt from seawater. How surprising! But as it was illegal during that time, the Britishers wanted to crush them down. The Britishers took them all and sent them all to jail, including Mahatma Gandhi. So pathetic. Later, Mahatma Gandhi signed a pact known as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, where he was told to stop this movement. In order to release all the people, he had to do it. So he later went in a roundtable conference in London where no fruitful decision was taken. He was totally worried. He came back to India. He wanted to start this project again, this vast project again, but people didn't support him. No mass support was given, as till nothing in 1934 it had lost all its momentum and it did not give any good results. So this was about the civil disobedience movement led by Gandhiji.